Welcome, all you lovely people, to your weekly energy update, and we're looking at the week of June 5th through June 12th. These are timeless, of course, so no matter when you're coming across these, they will have messages for you. I would trust your intuition if it brought you here. There are definitely messages for you. Now, we are just entering the Saturn Retrograde, which started on June 4th, and Saturn is going to be in Aquarius for this entire period starting June 4th going through October 23rd. Now, Saturn was the original traditional ruler over Aquarius before Uranus was discovered, so they do have this kind of old bond between them, so there's some extra juiciness and flavor that will be with Saturn coming through this period. You can kind of look at Saturn as like this strict grandfather who teaches us their wisdom, and when we do the work for them and do the work that they present to us, then they also reward us with, inheritance, right? So they are this taskmaster in a way, and so we just will look into where are they wanting us to do some work. And because this period of time from June 4th all the way through October 23rd, it will be in Aquarius in retrograde, it will be in our 11th house of Aquarius energy. So the classroom that we're going to be in, revisiting our beliefs, because that's what Saturn does. It has us challenge how we think about a particular area of our life. So the 11th house is about like our beliefs, our interactions with society, groups of friends or colleagues or whatever groups we're a part of. And it can be like our view of the entire world as well. So during this retrograde, Saturn is always having us do the work, but during the retrograde is kind of like our time to review our notes we've been taking as we're going through a classroom. We reflect on what we've learned and really what changes we want to introduce into our lives when Saturn goes direct on October 23rd. So, Saturn goes into retrograde every single year for about a third of the year. So this isn't something new and surprising for us. It's just something that will unfold for us. So for this reading, what we're going to be looking at is what would be in our highest experience to review during this Saturn retrograde. And I'm going to have a reading for each individual zodiac sign. I'm going to jump into yours right now. All right, all my Libras, this is your weekly energy update. And we're going to start off with these archetype cards. And side note, any of the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. And we're going to start off with these archetype cards, and they basically are just a piece of our personality or our life. So what better cards to use to ask the Creator what area of our life would be for our highest experience in reviewing during this Saturn retrograde. All right. So for all our Libras, what would you like them to know for this review? There we go. Got that one right here. Put that right there. And then we're also going to pull from this Power of Surrender deck. See what else Spirit would like you to know. What is their recommendation for review during this period? All right, so for our Libras, okay, you actually get two. So put those on either side here. And then we will pull for clarity. They want me to jump into these already, though, so we will. And you start off with the Engineer. And you both have a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So the lighter attribute of this energy is the ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. The shadow side, the darker part of the energy, is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So that is perfect, of course, for air signs. I know I'm an air sign in with my sun sign, so I know, we can get so much caught in our heads. We can have these beautiful creative ideas and these creative ways to, implement things and have this great awareness, even organization around our spiritual journey. But our shadow side is they can get so much in our head that we forget we have a heart, right? And we're making all these decisions out of balance, because the great decisions are when we bring in both the mental and the emotional and have this beautiful, cohesive solution or idea that comes together. It's beautiful energy together. But let's see what else that they say here as well. And we will start with this one right here. You got surrender to creativity, like it talked about on here, right? It says, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So that is perfect. I don't know if I held that up there long enough. That is a beautiful card of reflection there. And then the other one is surrender to wonder and awe. Beautiful. Love that one too. And that one says, open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. So that is this connection to the emotional side of the experiences too. So this is pretty clear during this time. It is about understanding and reflecting how you can move out of your head, your old beliefs around things, and move into the heart and understanding, because our thoughts are formed from emotion, right? We go through an emotional experience when we're younger, and our ego creates a thought and belief around it to either try to get as much of that emotion as we can if it's a wonderful feeling emotion, or if it was a painful emotion, how we can avoid it. So we have all these rigid thoughts and rules that start getting in place over and over and over as things happen. As we experience another day, another thing gets added. Before we know it, we have all these rules that are, kind of squelching our creativity and our ability to see the amazingness of life, because we're trying to put it into a box. I'm reminded of going for a walk, and I was walking with a friend of mine who, they very educated, very well informed on things. And we were walking, and there's this beautiful white flower. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. I was in the experience of the emotion at the time. But they were like, oh yeah, this kind of flower, it's called this, it's this. It actually, the petals can be used for this, the stem for this, the roots for that. And I'm just like, but isn't it a beautiful white flower? Because when we're caught up in the describing it, even if trying to take pictures of things, I want to capture this moment, click, 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 but we'll never experience the emotional piece of it through a picture. It's just being in the moment and seeing it without all the rules and the fears and all that restriction. Allows you to feel this openness and this freedom. We're going to pull from the Sun and Moon Tarot here just to get clarity around this getting out of your head. One more time. All right, so what else for our Libras, please? Okay, actually they want me to grab that one and that one there. Okay, what else? Okay, they want that one for right there. And what else for her, please? Okay, I do want these two here, that one there, and I thought there was going to be at least one more. And of course, okay, so they want me to move these over here because this is the central card right here. And I say that Because when I was describing this, this is basically the card. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our attitude, our expectations. And the Queen of Swords is actually brings a message of balance, because all the queens, in addition to carrying the energy of their own suit, they also carry water, which is the emotions. And so she's the balancer. She has the Ace of Swords in her hand, which allows her to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm. It allows her to also slice away those old thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve us. But for your reading, it's really zeroing in on the balancing between the heart and the mind that she brings. Because as I mentioned before, she has learned that when you make decisions purely from thought and supposed logic, it's basically doesn't work out for our highest experience. The same thing with choosing to make emotional decisions only without bringing in thought and wisdom, right? So there's this beautiful balancing, which Libras, you understand what that's all about. You are the scales, the balancers, the master balancers of the zodiac. So you understand this coming through. And so this is your kind of this reflection for you during this period, is really zeroing in on the difference between the emotional side that's at the core of a thought and belief, and then allowing your mind to change around a situation. So let's take a look. They want me to look at this side of the scale first. Yeah, this would be the emotional side, evidently, because it's the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is basically the Holy Grail. It's the chalice. This is the love that we all search for. This is the quest that we're all on, right? Because the love that we find inside us, that is connected to the unconditional love of the creator of all things and that our entire spiritual world back home. That's what's inside this cup. This is the juicy, sweet nectar that we want and seek to drink from, because it is what quenches our thirst, not the outside world, not those things that we search for outside of us. That's a bitter, sour taste, right? So let's see, they want me to go on to this next one. Yeah, and then you have the Ace of Wands. Are you kidding me? 2 aces. So this is the connection and the fire, the passion, the drive from within you. This is your spiritual energy and your energy overall. So there is this spark, and that makes sense with it being around creativity here, because the creative side with the emotions, that's is what brings this passion and this drive in to express yourself. And it's just this fiery, beautiful energy. It's not like this drive out of fear. It's this, you're filling so much up with this love that you fill up and you overflow, and you want to do something with that overflow. And this is about taking it in a creative kind of area. And then let's see what that does here. Yeah, there you go. Wheel of Fortune. So this is a 10, so it's endings and new beginnings. And this is basically that you do make this change. You do have this, this creativity when it starts to flow and you start to have it overflow. It just makes this movement. It's like these fated events, these things, this awareness that you have that's coming. You're aware of your power. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, there's a story behind it, and it totally fits in with this choice between, that we get to choose our thoughts, we get to choose our emotions. Because the short version of the story is, our soul, before it came down here, it chose to come down here. It chose you as its avatar, chose when it's going to, arrive and when it's going to leave, and all these fated events that it wants to experience through you. But within each of those fated events, we have this power, our free will, our power of choice still. We get to decide what emotion we want to experience through each emotion and what story or interpretation we want to put to that situation. And I know in the beginning, it doesn't feel like we have the ability to choose. It just, something happens is how I feel. Something happens, this is what I think it means and what I apply it to mean, like the story I put around it. But Spirit showed me, because I questioned them, I was like, are you really, really sure I have a choice? And they showed me my childhood, like all of us, how we all learn through conditioning and the popular opinion of the world that this happens is how you're supposed to feel. That happens is how you're supposed to mean about it. And so it's reinforced over and over, or it becomes our habit to think and feel that. And then it becomes our reaction to think and feel that. So it just becomes so, automatic. It doesn't feel like we're making a choice. But when we realize we can take some deep breaths where we can choose or re-choose what something means and how we want to feel about something, we get our power back. So that is definitely, there's kind of mixed in message here with the balancing between the heart and the emotions, that you get to choose what heart and what emotion you want to feel through a situation, but also the mental side, we get to choose what story we put to any situation. Let's see what the other side of this scale is here. Yeah, and you have the Five of Wands. Now, the Five is this change of perception. That's what the fives are. And with it being the Five of Wands, this is a change of perception of the energy that you're around, that the conflict that you thought existed there really doesn't. It was a perception. And so this is a kind of almost like a change of mind in a way, but it's a change of the energy around a situation. Because normally you'd see, you can see how these two are battling and it seems like they're fighting. Usually it has five of the staves are all hitting each other, and this little kung fu movie plays in my head where they're all battling each other and they're so at odds with each other. It looks like they really want to hurt each other is what it seems. And eventually it gets down to where four are exhausted on the ground. One's left barely standing. And you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Is he going to kill him or what? And then they all start laughing and you're like, what's going on? And they put all their staves away. They help each other up and buddy back down a pathway, back to the monastery, and they go to the meal hall and have a meal together. And then you realize, oh, this wasn't a fearful fight. This was a loving act, trying to help each other improve their skills. So there is this strife change where you thought there was this friction and this at odds before, maybe between emotion and thought. You had this feeling like that feelings and thinking, they can't be cohesive. But I feel like this is this new awareness that no, you can have emotion and thought walk hand in hand together as brother and sister and not as enemies. That's funny. Then you have another ace. What? This is crazy. This is amazing. Ace of Pentacles. So this is about new opportunities coming your way because you're thinking outside your box. In fact, you're not thinking, you're feeling. You're allowing new opportunities, like things to unfold where you wouldn't have allowed them to unfold before because of the strictness of your mind and your thought. But this also is this new, this new opinion of your worth, this new foundation you're discovering about who you really are and how you want to express yourself in the outside world. The Pentacles represents the outside of us. All the others, cups are emotions, wands is your energy, swords are your mind and thoughts, all that's on the inside. This is about the outside world. So how you're expressing yourself in the outside world, there's new opportunities for that coming during this Saturn retrograde as well. And then your final card, oh my gosh, I have never, ever had this happen. You have all four aces, which is a very, very powerful message. It started off with the Ace of Swords here, and the Queen of Swords wielding it. Now we're ending with it as well. So you've got all four aces of the minor arcana, which is a huge message of newness, a restart. Just in every area of your life, it's just this new, and that makes sense too. I mean, you got the Wheel of Fortune is the endings, that X is 10, ending, and honkin' frickin' new beginnings. Just in your emotions, in your mind, in your opportunities, in your energy, this is going to be a huge turning point for you during this Saturn, retrograde. You're able to reflect back on what you had in your thoughts and your beliefs around your emotions and all of that, and just get to the core where you are able to come up with this beautiful, beautiful balance between your emotions and your mind. And with doing that, you're just able to see things so differently and so clearly, because your thoughts and your emotions are not being based on the fear-based ego of the human side. You're connecting to this higher awareness of your emotions, rooted in unconditional love. You're connecting to the capital T truths of the spiritual realm that are rooted in unconditional love. So you're seeing the world in a whole different way as you go through this journey over these next few months, all the way from June 4th up to October 23rd. So an amazing, amazing journey is unfolding for you. It's like magician energy. The magician in the major arcana has all four of these in front of them, showing them they can accomplish whatever they are wanting to do to express the unconditional love within them with the outside world. So you've got the chalice, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. Your toolbox is full with so much energy and beautiful things for you. I'm really excited for you. I really am. So I can't wait to see how this unfolds. And I hope this helps for this week and as you go through this retrograde in Saturn. If you are looking for even more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on the channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love. Also helps my channel grow in an amazing way, because when you like a video, you share a video, you comment on a video, and especially if you subscribe to a channel, the YouTube algorithm gets so excited. It wants to share the videos of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am, of course, very, very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, you amazing Libras, as you go through this fantastic journey, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course, I love you too. Have an amazing journey. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, though. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.